AskReddit.
What's the stupidest reason you got in trouble in school? For saying my school picture sucked. I had no idea sucked was considered a bad word until I was put in detention for it. Landmine learning right here. Kind of like a story I heard from my mom. I think it was my grandmother who asked her mother, "What's French kissing?" To which she was given the reply, "Don't you ever say that." And she got grounded. Someone made a paper airplane out of scrap paper that had been binned. My name was written on the sheet they used. I got sent out the room and handed a punishment exercise.org. Flashback triggered. We each had a notebook in school. Something you would use in all your classes instead of that class's official exercise book. My notebook was full and tattered, so I binned it. Apparently, somebody took it out of the bin and wrote many offensive remarks aimed at different teachers. And then handed it in to one of the teachers. Just by looked at the handwriting you could tell it wasn't me. Nope. Still got bullocked for that. Edit. Notebooks was effectively a scrapbook for just scribbling down thoughts and ideas, temporarily throwaway stuff. Workbooks were for writing your final work in neatly. At the end of the lesson you would hand in your book to be marked. For using my asthma medication in class. I was told to keep my inhaler in the office and to use it in there only. I was told it was distracting. Know what else is distracting? The sounds of someone gasping for air and having to be removed from class. What's worse is kids have died because they didn't have immediate access to their inhalers or EpiPens because they needed to be kept in the office. Idiotic. I checked out a book on African tribes from the library in the 4th grade. I told the teacher about how the book had topless women in it, thinking I was helping. She confiscated the book and had me suspended from school. For not looking at the teacher during lesson. I wasn't fidgeting. Just sitting at my desk, staring into space. We had a payment system in 3rd grade where you'd get dollars for good behavior, finishing homework, cleaning up after lunch, and lose them for bad behavior. At the end of each quarter we'd get to use the dollars to buy shit at the book fair. Every kid wanted to stock up. Now each task would get you between $1 to $2. Each day you could only get like 3 max. She charged me $20. It was literally heartbreaking and took me a full month to recover. Turns out I had focal epilepsy and was having episodes in class. Got treated like a shitty kid for it all through high school. First, I did many things to get in trouble legitimately. I went undiagnosed with ADHD inattentive type for a long time because I would laser focus on schoolwork and get done quickly, then get bored and disrupt everyone else. The secretaries in my elementary school office knew me on sight when I went back to visit in high school. But there were a couple times that were questionable. Clapping. In 4th grade I learned you can clap louder by having the fingers on one hand go into the palm of the other. I was part of a mini concert for our extremely talented strings students, oh yeah, hot cross buns, and I was kicked out and sent to the office because I clapped along with everyone else, but a teacher felt I was being disruptive, abusing my newfound power. It was decades ago, so I really can't say if I was being a jerk or not. Sneezing. I sneezed several times and like a duck quacking. I got it from my grandfather who did the same, if those things are hereditary. I can try to hold it in, but then it looks like I'm having a seizure. Our middle school science teacher immediately tried to give me a S when I sneezed for the first time, and it took the whole class vouching for me before she relented. After that, people would just pause for me to finish, and I'd apologize. I got in trouble for cheating on one of my math exams. The teacher found a piece of paper in my pencil case. I got sent to the principal's office. When the principal asked me about what I wanted to say in my defense, I simply told him to take a look at the note. It turned out to be a shopping list. I was allowed to retake the exam the following week. My friend got in trouble for this when he was actually writing a list of weird events to happen in something he was into at the time, can't quite remember what. The teacher demanded to see the note, then read a list containing items along the lines of Greg set fire to the hospital. And Greg proceeded to shoot Lindsay. And the ghost of Lindsay haunted the rest of the people on the island. Someone once poked a wasp nest in the school forest, and the whole swarm came out upon the school. The entire school sat detention for an hour. Understandable if you don't know who did it, but that's not the problem. We were sitting detention because the principal's son got stung. As it eventually turned out, It was actually his fault the swarm came down on us. I have cursed his name since the day I found out. There was an unexpected whole school assembly grade school. We were all brought to the gym and sat down. It was then explained that one of us had pooped on the gym stage behind the mats. We know who did it, but we are giving them this opportunity to stand up and apologize. If you don't, then we'll have to punish you harder. A. Even to us kids it was obvious they had no fucking clue who did it. B. Ordering a kid to stand up in front of the whole school and apologize for shitting on the stage is not how you get the kid to admit they did it. In 1993, the Flaming Lips song "She Don't Use Jelly" came out. I was in 3rd grade and I really liked that song and started signing it with my friends during a double-handed jump roping session. She don't use jelly or any of the EC, she uses Vaseline. Boom. Written up. 3-day suspension for saying sexually suggestive things. I had no idea that was meant sexually. Worse even, no one would explain why that song was sexually suggestive. It was very confusing. I tripped on a loose tile and bumped into a teacher, causing her to spill her coffee on herself. I apologized and showed her the tile. She went on for months about how I did it on purpose. Even got the principal and my folks involved. For the rest of the year she told me I couldn't come back to her class unless I apologized for doing it on purpose. Never went back to her class. Though I initially apologized for the incident, I never once apologized for doing it on purpose.
Like, comment and subscribe, and also press the bell notification. We are coming up with best stories for you. Stay tuned.